Hi everybody, Mr. John's back for episode 5 of Mr. John's Mindful Moments. It's crazy to think we're well past halfway through the first 9 weeks of the school year. After today, we've got 3 weeks until fall break, which is really crazy to think about. Time is just flying by. So, just to give you a quick update on myself and things I've been doing. It's been a really great week here at school. It's been a short week. We had a really nice long weekend for Labor Day last weekend. I know I had a lot of fun myself. I took my list of favorite things that I like to do, and I got to check quite a few of those off. I got to go on a bike ride. I went out to the lake with my family, did some kayaking. We had a cookout together, spent some time together, got to complete my chores, mow my yard. So it was a really great weekend. I really enjoyed having Monday off, and it has made for an even better week this week here at school. I hope you all made the most of your weekend, and I hope you took out your list of favorite things to do and were able to do a few of those both last weekend and throughout this week. This week I want to talk a little bit about self-care and the importance of self-care. So you might be asking yourself, what's self-care? Just taking care of oneself? I like to think of self-care as kind of best practices for keeping ourselves mentally healthy. It's doing the things that we really love to do, that bring us joy, and help us to relax and unwind from the stressors that are in our everyday lives. So for myself, things that I do to take care of myself or to practice self-care, I have breathing exercises that I do every morning. I take a few moments of silence for myself just to start each day. I like to be active and exercise and be physically using my body. I love sweating. That really helps me to ground myself and center myself when I can push myself physically to the point of tiring myself out and sweating and using my body. That's one of the best things that I found for me personally to keep myself mentally healthy. Also, spending time with family, focusing on the things that I'm thankful for. Those are all examples of things that I do for self-care. Eating healthy, making sure I'm up to date on my doctor's appointments, keeping my teeth brushed, all of those fun things are all examples of taking care of oneself. And they help me to better handle and deal with the stressors that come up in my everyday life. So I encourage you all to think a little bit about what you can do for self-care and what you enjoy doing. And then the most important part of that all is making time for yourself and devoting time for self-care. Interestingly enough, when we take time to relax and do the things we love to do, when we go back to do those things that are more stress-inducing or that we don't enjoy doing as much, it makes them a little bit easier to do if we've been balancing that with the things we love to do. So I encourage you all, spend a little time this weekend and over the next week focusing on some things you like to do for self-care. I wanted to provide a quote that I thought was a really awesome quote on mindfulness and just being present. And it's by a person named Alan Locos. And it says, "You cannot control the results, only your actions." I think this is very important to think about, because I think a lot of times we get caught up in focusing on the results and we don't clearly understand the actions that it's going to take to get the results we want. If we focus on acting in a way that will get us the things that we want, the results will eventually come. We have to focus on what we can control, and that's how we act in each and every moment. And if we focus on acting in a way that is appropriate to attract the things we want, those things will come. Maybe not as quick as we would like, But if we stay committed, make that commitment to yourself, and continue to act in a way that you know it will attract the things you want, they will get there. So for this week, my challenge for my students, I challenge each of you at the end of each day, I want you to think back on your day and write down 3 things that you are thankful for from that day. I know this might sound difficult. Some of you might be thinking, well, what if I have a really bad day? Why would I be thankful for that? And what I found by practicing this myself is that even in the toughest situations, even in the worst of experiences, if we take a moment and try to find something to be thankful for, there is always something there that we can express some appreciation and gratitude for. We may have to think and really dig to find it, but it's always there. That's been my experience at the very least. So students, I challenge you to end each day for the next week by writing down 3 things that you're thankful for from that day. Keep track of them. And I will provide a feedback form at the end of next week for you to provide your feedback on how this challenge went for you and what it was like for you. Please look on my Canvas page for this week's activity. It will be a continuation of the kindness challenge from last week. And be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode of Mr. John's Mindful Moments. Until then, have a great weekend, have a great week, stay safe. Thank you.